Okay, no, don't look yet. You think of doing a pattern where you would just do the background and then fill in the pattern on top, but I never approach pattern that way. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, it's gonna be another process video. I wanted to show you some ideas on pattern. Y'all know this sketchbook that I have. This is like my more expensive, nice sketchbook. I've mentioned it in multiple videos. If you want some more information on it, I did a video called Favorites. I was trying to remember what it's called. And my dog is in here, Cooper. He's gonna be making all kinds of racket, I can tell, because anytime I'm videoing, he wants to be in here making noise, you know, licking, dreaming, wanting snuggles, all that stuff. What was I saying? So I have this nice sketchbook, and let me first just say, I never, ever tear out a sketch from a sketchbook. I never paint over a sketch. What I do in my sketchbooks just are there and they stay. In fact, even with like real paintings, I never paint over them. I started that process early on in my painting career to just never get rid of a painting. And I'm so thankful that in my sketchbooks, I do just have all the bad stuff. I love when I've got a new student, like showing them all my terrible sketchbooks and sketches, or even in my good sketchbooks, like my bad sketches in there, because that's just, as artists, we make good stuff and bad stuff, and it's through the bad stuff that we learn how to make the good stuff. In this nicer, more expensive journal sketchbook, I wanted to treat this more like finished paintings. Not that they're all great paintings. In fact, you're gonna see a couple of them in here that are not great in this video, but they're finished. I had a painting in here though that I did, and I didn't get to finish it. And I wasn't gonna be able to return back to the subject. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with that. I didn't love the idea of painting completely over it. I wanted to save some of it. What I did a thin wash of a very bright pink and preserved some of that background. That old painting, which then had a thin wash over it, and you can see parts of that. You can't tell at all what the original painting is. I saved little bits of it in things like the dresses, even in like this guy's hair. I just couldn't resist saving the bright pink for his hair. It's just kind of fun. It's my sketchbook. I'm playing around. What I saw in this was pattern that was going on and creating things in these clothing and even in the hair that I would have never painted it that way. And so it got me thinking about doing a page where then my second sketch, what I did, I filled the page with pattern, and then I did a thin wash over it again, and then I saved bits of that for the clothing. So here I left the pattern but painted this green and kind of carved around some of the pattern. Did the same here, used this orange, and I left some of this underpainting, which is just was really fun. This one, I just made a new pattern, but I left these little bits here of the underneath pattern showing through. And then in this lady's dress, I did the same thing, carved out, put a wash on top, and left some of the pattern. So a little different, you know, kind of wonky faces, but I like how it turned out. And then what I did was another page where I just filled it with pattern, and I wasn't even liking how the pattern was turning out, so I just did even more pattern on top. I just patterned and patterned and patterned. And I really did not like the end product, but I just thought, I'm going with it. I'm gonna do this and use that pattern for the clothing in the third final sketch, and I loved it. I will probably do this in a larger oil painting because I just loved it so much. Okay guys, I want to fill you in on where I am now. So I did this really just fun background. I filled the page. So I did that. Then I did this sketch. I was afraid I was gonna feel really lost. I mean, it's just very busy, but I blocked in, like sketched in these figures. Then what I did for the background that's gonna be the grass, I put in a real thin layer of this bright pink, and it's drying. And then I'll go over that with the grass. I just think it makes the grass look really pretty. Okay guys, I wanna show you where I am in this process. I have blocked in the background, and I've also started blocking in some of their faces. So this may look confusing too, because I've got these papers, so I don't get paint on the other pages. So far, I'm loving how the patterns on these dresses, on the clothes are looking. Right here you can see where I just put a wash over the pattern. You know, it's the same pattern, but I just put a wash of kind of a neutrally white over it. And then in this one, there was just part of this pattern right here, and then I filled in the pattern to make his shirt. And then the fourth painting that I wanted to show you, still from my sketchbook, I wanted to share a little with you on how I did pattern in some of these dresses from a gallery show that I went to that I loved. The other day I went to the Frist Gallery here in Nashville. I just realized I'm not gonna remember the name of, I think it's Frida. Is that how you say her name? I'm probably gonna wish I had looked this up. We were standing there looking at one of the paintings of Frida, and Gabby, my friend who I was with, turns and looks into the other room, and she goes, oh, and I turned and looked, and I go, oh, okay, no, don't look yet. So in the other room, there was all these mannequins with amazing dresses on the mannequins, and it was Frida's like replicas of her clothing, which I was just dying. I grabbed my sketchbook as fast as I could. I did some really quick sketches, I'll show you here, of the dresses, and then I took pictures, and now I'm taking time in my sketchbook and doing some painting. This has taken me a couple days. I painted yesterday, painted today, and tomorrow I'll probably do the last figure here, just filling up this page. I also wanted to show you this. I used this pen in a size, whatever that is. I use this to sketch in my sketchbook. I really like it. It's like this felt tip thing. I'm gonna get some more of these because I really like them. They're smooth. And then in my sketch book that I'm painting in, I'm using this fun purpley, you know, my polychroma. Holy smoke, this camera. Oh, I should have taken time to get the tripod out. I'm using the polychroma manganese violet. I'm not a purple fan at all. I'm really amazed I even bought this. But there's, you know, like little bits of this coming through, which I don't think you would normally think about picking up a purple pen to sketch your people, you know, for your faces, neck, and all that. But little bits of it are showing through. I really liked the sketches, even though they're really fast and really loose. And I'm actually not even going by the like actual pattern of the dresses and stuff. I'm just making, you know, the painting, but I'm using these pictures, which I'll put some of those pictures in here. Again, they're not great photos. I was like, just taking photos, sketching frantically, trying to read everything. And I probably should go back and take a little more time with the exhibit because it was just so wonderful. And there were little things, so she was really big into her eyebrows, and them looking like these, like a blackbird. And in two of these, I've put the eyebrows, but then I was kind of like, oh, the eyebrows are really browy. And so some of those I'm leaving, but one of the things that I loved that it talked about was how she was really into her lipstick. So that's been fun to put like just straight up color for the lips and playing with all these patterns and colors. mean, it is right down my alley. I'm not a figure painter, so these aren't like great. You know, I'm not trying to like, I don't know, I'm just having fun. It's my sketchbook. I was totally inspired. One of the things that I wanted to point out, I think sometimes maybe you think of doing a pattern where you would just do the background and then fill in the pattern, build the pattern on top. Like if you're doing a floral, or even like there's kind of Aztec-y looking things in these dresses. But I never approach pattern that way. I will do the pattern, so the flowers or the shapes, whatever, and then I carve back in with the background. What that does, it protects from it looking kind of like a stick-on, like the pattern is cut out and stuck on there. And then if you will trust the process and not be too tight with it, if you'll stay loose with your brush strokes as you're painting around the pattern, you actually will get better edges. And I'm always after a loose pattern anyways, and so that just creates that. I just get to carve back in, and I try to stay loose even when I really love some edges. It was fun to just practice faces and staying loose in that. I was really pleased with how the 4 sketches of Frida's wardrobe turned out. It was a lot of fun, and I may even do a couple more pages. All right guys, so that's it for my process video on how to do pattern. I hope you got some ideas. I hope it was inspiring. I hope that you'll go and play and try some of these different ways of doing pattern too. Thanks guys, see you later, bye. I gotta prop this arm up. Propping it up. Oh, my arm's getting heavy. God, get back on focus here.